Hi, I'm Marianne Clyde.
And I'm Lorna McGill.
And we're here with the Isn't She Amazing podcast. And today we've got a rock star, and her name is Jen Hansard. And she's a best-selling author, speaker, nature lover, CEO of Simple Green Smoothies. Now, I have done her challenge, and I'm going to pick her brain for a whole bunch of other things that she does.
Yeah, I think I am also, because I have never done a smoothie challenge. So this may be the inspiration that I need.
So okay, Jen, we are your target market. We're ready.
One has already done it, one has not yet.
You know what's cool though, Lorna, her smoothie challenge has become a worldwide phenomenon. There's millions of people that have embraced this, and it's the easiest way I find to eat fruits and vegetables and add them to my diet.
Well, and I need to do that because I can't tell you how many I throw away.
Oh, yeah.
I buy them.
Throw them in the blender.
And then I'm like, oh, they're now moldy. Now it's just like looks a little limp. I'm like, I just got to throw it away. So this is probably the encouragement that I need. Well, I'd love to hear how you started. If you're like
That
this
would be a great
worldwide phenomenon, like how did you start?
I mean, I started as a stay-at-home mom, just trying to feed my kids and like support my husband, who was starting a church plant in Florida. And we just found ourselves financially struggling and not having much money. We had no health insurance. And so it was nothing like I ever imagined. Like, we came from Los Angeles, where my husband worked in Hollywood in the past. And we had health insurance where I got free facials. And so I had lived the life. and then
you're like, I don't have any money.
Give us your connections.
Yeah. So like our past was like pretty financially good, and our insurance was great. So things I never had to worry about. And growing up, I didn't have to worry about that. And he felt called to be a pastor, and I absolutely support that. And so his calling brought us to Florida to church plant. And within 6 months, we found ourselves on minimum, like he wasn't making any money. We were getting welfare checks for him from unemployment.
Yeah.
And then we were without health insurance because our Hollywood stuff ran out. And so, yeah, and it was like, it was hard. And it was to the point where I was like, if we get sick, we can't afford to go to the hospital. Like, we don't have insurance. Like, everything you do, it's scary. And so I just got to the point each night where I was like, there's got to be a way where we can figure out how to boost our immune system ourselves, because our kids were 1.5 and 3. And I mean, the snot, the sicknesses, like, yeah, like they pick each other's noses on the playground. Like, it's like, how do you not get sick back then? And so like, and I was just on Google looking it up and just finding different ways to boost your immune system versus like going outside, taking a walk, soaking in vitamin D. And this thing about green smoothies came up, and I saw a few recipes on this one blog, but she didn't have measurements, and it was so healthy sounding that I was like, this sounds disgusting. It was like kale and broccoli. And I'm like, I'm not going to drink that. My kids aren't going to drink that. And then a week later, my friend mentioned that she was doing green smoothies to lose weight. And it's kind of when you're like, okay, I've never heard of this thing before. And then in the same week I hear
it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, really? And she says, yeah, but they're not nasty. And so I was like, okay, like, tell me more, because the ones I found were really nasty, like gag. And so she gave me the recipe she was using, which had blueberries, strawberries, banana, spinach, and water. No, spinach and orange juice was her base.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, I'm going to do it because we have to try something. And with our not having, well, we're on unemployment, but we're also getting WIC checks, which is women and infant subsidy. Yeah. They give you vouchers for produce. And so in orange juice. And I was like, we can get this, you guys. Like, so we went to the store with our WIC money and like bought all our smoothie supplies, and then came home, and I had to get out my blender that I got for my wedding present. It was made for margaritas. It had one switch on it. Like, it could only do one thing. It made a margarita. And that's what we did. We put it in there and blended it up. And it was brown, because when you blend spinach with any berry, it turns brown. So the color was
blueberries. Ugh.
Right? Yeah. So the color, I remember being like, I don't know how we can trust my friend at this point, but like, let's see. And the kids tried it, I tried it, and it tasted so good. Like it tasted like a normal smoothie that I would order at Jamba Juice.
Mhm.
And I was like, but I just put in
Only you
a
probably didn't put in
cup
the
of
cup of
spinach.
sugar that they put in it.
Yeah. But like I added a whole thing of spinach to it and I couldn't even taste it. And so that was when I realized it's like, we can do this. Like this tastes good. It's good for us. Like it's going to boost our immune system. And so we just kind of stuck with it. And my kids stopped getting sick. I started getting more energy. Like, and I think it wasn't just because of the one time we had it, it's because we made it a habit. And I was committed to doing it every day, one smoothie a day for us. And over time, just having all those vitamins in your body builds it up. The natural fruit sugars for me with the like the berries and the strawberries and banana, like that boosted my energy levels. Whereas before, like I was a coffee fiend. Like it was like I'd wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and that would like get the right eye to just slightly open, and then you have a second cup for this eye, and then like 30 minutes later, you're tired again.
Yeah.
So we were going through pots of coffee between my husband and I, and being so stressed.
Oh my
I
goodness.
did the smoothies, like I was like, I have way more energy drinking this than that cup of coffee is giving me.
Really?
That I thought was magical. Like I thought coffee was the solution to everything. And then the smoothies taught me that.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, I still love my coffee, but
I was going to ask if you gave up.
no.
You didn't give it up.
No, I'm a lifer.
Okay.
We're just committed, just like smoothies.
I have an important question then. Which are the favorite ones of your kids?
Yeah.
Like when they were younger now,
Yep.
you said they were what, 1 and 3?
When we started.
So under 5 or 6, what was their favorite?
Yeah, their favorite then is still their favorite today, and it's beginner's luck. Like hands down, like they still like if I'm making smoothies,
It's a banana and spinach.
Yeah, can you do it, Mary?
Strawberries? Okay. An
So
orange.
It's
No?
a tropical one. So it's got spinach, 1 cup of spinach, 1 cup of water, 1 banana, and then half a cup of frozen mango, half a cup of frozen pineapple. And it is phenomenal. Like the cream.
Is that for one serving?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they're
the
big.
best.
I mean, you put in a cup of water and then all that fruit, it gives you what, 16 ounces?
16, exactly. It's 16 ounces, which is filling enough. And you're getting all that fruit fiber and the spinach fiber to actually like expand in your stomach, fill you up more than if you're drinking juice or something that wasn't so rich in fiber, which is why I love them. So I use them as meal replacements now. So not just to boost my immune system, but to like swap it for breakfast. Like the days for me of like a bagel and cream cheese are gone, because as much as like my stomach loves how that bread expands in there and just like feels good, you never feel good. And all day you just crave crap. Like I can anytime, and I do have a bagel sometimes when I'm stressed or on my period, you know, you're just got it for the kids. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have one. The rest of the day I'm eating like pizza or like just not good foods that are nutrient dense, and I don't feel good, but that's what you crave based off of how you start your day. Those healthy habits start with can truly change the whole day.
I always say you can kind of feel like when you eat bad, you can almost feel like the grease like coursing through your veins. Yes. It really feels different from when you eat something healthy, or the days that you eat something healthy.
Yeah. And I think starting the day is the key. Like if I set that foundation in the morning with like a big cup of water and a big smoothie, the chance of me making a healthy choice for lunch and dinner is like 100% higher than if I didn't. So it's like your taste buds change as you do it. And like you want more plants in your body. Like it just naturally happens.
So you're not total vegetarian though, are you? You do largely plant-based.
Yes. So that's what I love about the plant-based way, is because I feel like it's the most freeing way to eat. Like we're really trying to get as close to nature as possible and eat as many plants as we can, but you can also have meat and cheese and use them as condiments. And so like if I feel like having a little bit of cheddar cheese on my taco or something, like with my like chickpea tacos or something, I can do that. And it's still plant-based. If you think of all the nutrients you're still getting from everything else in that taco, with like the cabbage and the chickpeas for the protein and cashew cream that I'm putting in it, like all of that too is good for you, but the cheese, if you want it, you can do it and not feel bad.
That sounds
You
delicious.
don't have to eat vegetarian cheese.
No.
No.
Like,
Have you had that?
yeah, like
I mean, some of it doesn't taste bad. I have had.
no, but the thing is, whenever they're like faking it with a replacement, it doesn't have the same goal.
The
Like
texture,
original
like the
cheese, like has
texture.
protein in it. If you the vegan cheeses don't even have protein, they're literally just gums and cellulose, and like it's not even good for you. So like, why do it?
That's not
Yeah.
food.
No, I'd
Question.
rather eat like if I'm trying to get protein in, like or like I'd rather eat a piece of chicken than a fake processed tofu, like the TPC or whatever it's called. Like there's so many like highly processed fake vegan foods, and
Mhm.
I would rather choose meat over that any day.
Yeah, I'm with you for sure.
Well, I have a question. So, women in our demographic, 50 and over, are always like, I am freaking gaining weight by just
Yes.
eating at food. So is this like something that you see that really helps? I mean, I would imagine if you're eating healthy, like first thing in the morning and you're making healthy choices, that's going to be one way to help. But is it
Yeah, I think it's doing just the daily green smoothie is a great start to change. It starts getting your taste buds ready for more change that I think is necessary to come. It also gives you the energy to want to go outside and be active. And so for me, back when my kids were little, I remember just being so tired and I was not happy with my weight, but I was too tired to work out. And you feel trapped in this like situation where you're like, I'm supposed to eat better, but it tastes gross. I'm supposed to work out, but I'm too tired. Like, and so the smoothie alone to me is like, that's the thing that kickstarts it all. Like I get my energy, I drink that, I feel full. Then I go on a walk or a run, and then the day begins. And so they say it's like 80% nutrition, 20% fitness when it comes to weight loss.
Mhm.
So you do need both. If you do one or the other, like there is going to be, you're going to lose something. And I want to be strong. And so for me, fitness is a big part of that.
I saw you did like some crazy things. Like a video.
I try.
That motorcycle. Was that what that was?
Yeah, I did a motorcycle race. It was a mini motorcycle race on 50cc motorcycles across Morocco with girlfriends. They took
Now,
us on
I
the
do a
bus.
girls trip every year, but we do not do anything.
Here's your new idea, Lauren.
Yeah.
We did hike a glacier last year. So
Aw.
maybe say, let's get on motorcycles.
Well, the crazy thing is well, I'm probably the just crazy one because I didn't learn how to ride a motorcycle until I literally got on the sand and he handed me my motorcycle. And I was like, okay, how do I use this, you guys? Like,
And you
That sounds
did.
like something I would do.
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh
I'm
my
all in.
gosh.
And then I'm like, I've never been on a motorcycle before.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't have time to figure this out before. Like, I'm finishing up my book. Like, I was writing a book then, and this was my gift to myself. I was like, you finish your book, Jen, you get to get on that plane and go with some girlfriends.
Oh my gosh, because I took the motorcycle course and failed it because I laid the bike down in the final figure eight and it just automatic failure. Boom. And
Well,
so
you didn't need
what-
to do, I didn't need a license to ride this in Morocco. They let you do whatever.
well, I don't know if that's good or bad.
It made for great stories.
I bet it did. That is wonderful. So how many miles did you do?
Oh gosh, it was 7 days and we rode at least
You should
8
see-
hours a day.
Oh my God.
We went all over
Guys
it. There
are
was no,
nuts.
yeah, they dropped us off by the Sahara Desert and we had camel
By
rides.
yourself?
There was about 35 of us in the race. And they
Oh,
gave us GPS coordinates and they just said in 7 days you need to be here. So first one at the finish line. But they wanted us to enjoy it along the way. And so everyone just took off in different directions and we just had fun.
oh my gosh, it makes my heart pound like, oh my gosh.
Oh, my husband was beyond nervous because there was no lodging. Like we literally just had to figure it out each day where we were going to end up, where we were going to stay. Some nights we got stranded and had to like knock on a door and ask someone if we could stay in their entryway, and they got cushions off their patio chairs and let us sleep on those.
Oh
And
my
you're alive,
God.
you survived.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
story.
Lorna, our adventures sound like nothing.
I know, we
Sound
sound
like
we're-
old lady things. We're gonna have to
We're
turn
gonna
up the,
up our game.
Yeah. I got some ideas.
oh my, yeah, but I'm not talking to you. After this podcast, we're done. No, that sounds wonderful. So you
Yeah.
have a really, because I know you hike too. Did you do something around Grand Canyon several
Yes.
years ago?
Yeah. So I've crossed the Grand Canyon from North Rim to South Rim or South to Rim. I think it's 12 times now. So
Really?
it's, I love it there. It's
How long
every
does it
time
take
you
you?
go.
How long does it take you to go from one end to the other?
And I think the shortest distance, because there's 2 trails you can choose. I think the shortest is like 19 miles and the longest is like 24 to do it. It's
How
more
long-
the elevation though, you do 6,000 feet down or up and then 5,000 on the other rim. So it's a big climb. But we say you will never be the same person you were going to the canyon as coming back from it, because it changes you every time. And
Oh,
you're
wow.
pushed, you face challenges in there. Like you're one with nature and one with God, and you just forget everything else and you really enjoy that time in there because it's magical.
Wow.
But
You are
isn't that like anytime you do
fascinating.
it? Yeah, every time you push yourself, I mean, that is, you change yourself, you're changing who
Yes.
you are.
Yeah.
I think people don't think about that aspect, but it does.
Yeah.
I mean, like, like, you know, when you run a marathon or you hike a big mountain, like it changes you. When you're done, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought we were badass. We're not.
I'm not.
Not compared to you.
We're lame.
No, I'm just crazy. I think my husband says that. He's like, you're just different, Jen. So
But were you athletic before you started doing the smoothies?
I mean, when I was a kid, I was a runner and I
Okay.
was never the best by far. Like I was always like the slowest of the fast. And so in high school, I was on varsity, but I was number 7 in that you can only have 7 on varsity. So I was on the team, but not like making the headlines or like the one winning the medals, but I helped my team. Oh,
Well, and now you said your smoothie challenge is a worldwide phenomenon. Tell
Like,
us,
how
did that grow with being the first? So you might not be the first in the
Mhm.
first 7, but as far as smoothies go, you're number 1 in the world.
mm-hmm.
So tell us how you got there.
I think it's just being generous, because everything we do at Simple Green Smoothies, which is my food blog, like our goal, if I never make $1, I've at least changed the world. And that's more important to me. And so everything we do and create, I'm always like, it's okay if they don't ever buy from us. I can still they can share this with their friends and family and feel better, because the healthier we all get, the better, the more we all benefit. And so we host free challenges, which is we've done 7-day smoothie challenges, 10-day, 30-day, whatever we feel like is a good time or event to do. We'll host it and we invite everyone and their friends to join it. I create all the recipes. I'll give you a shopping list so you know exactly what to buy each week. So you're not like spinning your wheels or having to calculate anything. And then
that is awesome, I have to say, because that's
Yeah.
always like one of those things that like trips
Yes.
me up. I'm like, oh, this looks all great. Now I've got to like figure it all
Oh, yeah.
out.
Right.
And then I end up with too much or I don't have enough. And you're like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
She spells it out for you.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And then we do it as a community. So we used to do it in Facebook, which was free, but a lot of people don't like Facebook anymore, and myself included. It's just, you get more ads than you can't even focus on what you went there for. And so
And that's where I found you on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we moved over and I pay for a private community that will still do the free challenges in. And so it's behind the scenes, but we have thousands and thousands of rock stars doing challenges with us in there, like growing in their smoothie game and learning how to blend better, how to turn not just smoothies into meals, but like how to make nutritious snacks, what a plant-based meal is and how it can actually taste good. So it's really grown, and I love doing it. Like, it's stressful running a business. That side of it, I'm like, I wish I had someone that like loved to do that for me.
That's right.
I'm doing both. And so That's a little hard sometimes.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Lorna, Jen's the one that inspired me to buy my Vitamix.
Mhm.
And because,
Oh, yeah, she's told me all about her Vitamix.
and now I have one at my home in Virginia and also my one in Florida. So we don't have to lug this big thing back and forth. You know, it's just like, but there's no comparison to that, to the old blender. You know, it's like it
No.
just does, especially when you're using ice and things that have to be chopped up smoothly and stuff like that. It's just that Vitamix really works.
Yeah, I feel like if you're serious about drinking a daily smoothie and making that a part of who you are, then you need to get a Vitamix because it makes the smoothie 10 times quicker to make. Like you put everything in that blender at once, blend it at high speed. 30 seconds and you've got a great smoothie versus like my old margarita blender. It took like 2 minutes and like the chunks were still so visible on the outside of the container. And like my kids would have to drink it with a straw just to like hide the chunks going down their throat. So it's Vitamix is magical. And they're like, I know they're expensive. They do have deals. You can sometimes get it for under $300, which still sounds like a lot. I know. And I remember back when we were on unemployment and using my crappy blender and it eventually burned out. We literally burned that thing out. So, and I was like, we have to get a Vitamix. And I was like, I can't afford it. Like living this way, it doesn't look like we should have a Vitamix. I said, but we can either spend that money on medical bills for the kids when they're getting sick, or we can get ahead of it and buy this blender that's going to help us like boost our immune system and live out this life and not go to the hospital ever or the doctor. And really we don't go. Like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
But you know, I think you had posted a deal. So I assume you regularly get deals from Vitamix. Is that right? Where they're
Yes.
reconditioned?
I feel like we're family. Like we work with them a lot. And I only work with brands I believe in, and they're absolutely one of them. And so they'll give us an insider scoop of like what's coming up. And so if it's a really good deal that I think my community would appreciate knowing about, I will share it with them. But they have deals all the time for random things too. So I won't share everything.
Okay. You have to have your focus, right?
Yeah.
Well, another thing I love, Lauren, is she does like dessert smoothies that are healthy. Like chocolate cherry
chocolate covered cherry
smoothie. Yeah.
Well, so that sounds yummy.
Yep.
I mean, I'm already to say I'm already sold, so I will start making these smoothies.
But give us some of those recipes if you've got them. I know you've got cookbooks and everything. So
yeah, I mean,
your
really,
favorite dessert smoothies.
See, I'm not a chocolate person. Like I know.
Oh, you're not.
I'm not, but my husband is. And so we have I think it's called Simple Monkey Smoothie in the cookbook. My first cookbook, Simple Green Smoothies. And that one has frozen banana, cacao, and then almond milk and spinach. And you blend it together and you can't even taste the spinach in it. And we use cacao, which is similar to cocoa, but it's not processed. And so it's much more antioxidants. And I'm all about those antioxidants, like anything to like help our cells rejuvenate and just love our body more is better.
And the banana sweetens it. So it doesn't taste like if you stick your finger in the can and it's kind of bitter.
Because I guess you do that.
I've tried, right? As kids, like with your mom when she had the whole thing of like the Hershey cocoa powder. I remember thinking I was going to get the best thing ever. That like, no,
not that.
Not Nesquik.
Okay, so I don't think I've ever had the monkey thing.
Okay, yeah,
just a banana, one frozen banana.
I haven't looked
I'll
up
check.
that. I would say it's okay for one serving, 1 cup spinach, 1 cup of almond milk. I would do 1 frozen banana. And then 1 to 2 tablespoons cacao powder, depending how much you really like chocolate.
Yeah, I think that sounds awesome.
So that's a good one. And then the
green, you get the banana.
Yeah. So for me, like I did not like salads. And I remember after like being pregnant with my kids and like trying to be healthier. Like we lived in Hollywood, my friends would shop at Whole Foods. And I remember going to Whole Foods and like going for the cup of coffee that you could get in the cafe there. And then like walking around and being like, okay, I'm going to try to be healthier. Cause I was all about, I ate Lucky Charms. Like the last month of my pregnancy, I literally grew Jackson on Lucky Charms. The doctor was like, you're losing weight and you should not be losing weight. You need to sit still and just eat. And so I binge watched Lost series and I ate boxes of Lucky Charms. Like,
Ooh.
yeah.
Mm.
But so I go to Whole Foods and I remember I'd buy spinach, like a bag of spinach. I'm like, it's like $2.99. Okay, like I'll go make something with it. And like that spinach would sit in my fridge all week, turn disgusting, and I would just throw it out. And I did it again and again because I didn't know what to do with it and or like how to make it taste good.
Mm-hmm. What
So
is
it wasn't until
favorite?
smoothies where I was like, I can put all this spinach in a smoothie and you won't even taste it. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Well, it's the truth because honestly, if I have a smoothie in the morning, I know I have at least 5 fruits and vegetables to start the day with.
Yeah.
So I'm not as conscious throughout the day as like if I don't feel like having vegetables with my dinner or
Or if
what.
you want a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have made like salad smoothies. Have you done
Mhm.
that? Where you
Yeah.
just put it all in like olives and everything?
I mean, we do savory smoothies with like
Savory.
frozen cauliflower is a great base for a smoothie. You can't taste it, but it creams it up really nicely. And it's a good neutral base. And I've added like garlic cloves, tomatoes, like kind of like a V8 smoothie. It was
Right.
delicious. Celery. Yeah.
Yeah. And celery is good to
Mhm.
put in a smoothie. It's
Oh,
it's
so much
got a
fiber.
flavor, but it's not offensive, you know. So
Yeah,
like
and it has like natural sodium going on in it too. So it's
yeah.
good. I love celery.
Well, tell
And
us
juicing,
about
like the other world is juicing. And so I've always been on team blending for my lifestyle. And that's because I'm on the go. I don't have much time. I don't like waste. And so I put everything in that blender and I drink it down and it's filling, it's got the fiber. And I can clean that blender in like 12 seconds. Like you just put under hot water, scrub the sides, or you can put it back on the blender base and turn it on. And it's like a dishwasher in itself.
yeah.
So it's just so quick. I say it's the healthiest fast food. So if you are strapped for time and you're like, I'm so hungry, but I gotta get going, blend a smoothie and take it with you. Like it's so quick. Whereas juicing, you're pulling out all that fiber from the produce that you're buying. And the only thing that you're going to be absorbing is like the liquid base and the nutrients.
Mhm.
And that's great too. If you are immune compromised, if you have time in the morning to just go through the juicing process, and then the cleanup process of juicing is ridiculous. So that's for me, blending is just so easy and you get all the nutrients too and the fiber, and it's just easier for a busy lifestyle.
Yeah. Wow. Really awesome. So Lorna, what do you want to know? Because you haven't been doing this all the time, right?
No, I haven't. No, because it just seems like it's gonna be like too much trouble. And how do I? And I mean, I have tried it, but then I'm like, this is just too much. And so it's very encouraging to hear how easy I can make it. I think maybe sometimes it's just a mindset. Like if I'm telling myself that, but I know I'm excited to try it. It's very you're very encouraging about it.
I promise you, like it's a game changer. Like if you don't do anything else but you just blend a daily smoothie, like you are gonna see so many results just from that alone.
Well, and I saw you've had something on your website about, if you do a plant-based diet, or it's like you could live like 10 years longer. Like
that's what they say. Like the research shows those that are plant-based
so if you could live 10 years longer and you could be healthier, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and it's, to me, it's not like, yes, I want to live longer. Yes, I want to look good. But the most important thing for me is that I'm able to do what I feel called to do and what I want to do. And that's to be a good mom. Like I want to be that mom that's at the playground chasing my kids and playing with them, and not the mom sitting, drinking the coffee and reading the book while they're playing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's who you are. And for me, like I want to be in it. I want to be in the arena. I want to be on that motorcycle going over the sand dunes in Morocco. what I put in my body, what I put in my own gas tank is going to play the biggest part in that. And so I have to be conscious of that and make good choices as best as possible. And my
But
dad,
also when you're a parent, like your kids are seeing what you're doing. And
Yeah.
so now you are an example, and that becomes, my kids are very healthy eaters. I was very conscious right when we were raising them to feed them salads and to make sure they had lots of vegetables and to have a good balance and to have, like, you kind of have your junk food and your sweets, but to do that in moderation. And the three boys are in their 20s, and they are three of the most healthy, most disciplined eaters. I'm not really sure. I mean, I was a good example. I guess I'm not as good about it as they are, but it does, it carries forward. So then they're going to be examples, and it just, like Marianne and I say, if you do something, it kind of emits out into the world by what you do with everybody you're touching. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Jen, that you are such an inspiration. So I wanted to ask you, because you've got how many cookbooks now?
I have 2 that I've published with Random House. So I have Simple Green Smoothies, which is all green smoothie recipes. So every smoothie in there has either like spinach or kale or Swiss chard, or I think I even have one with arugula, but I don't recommend that one.
It just has a little bitter taste to it, you know?
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
does.
it's like it's not spinach. Like,
But Swiss chard is good.
it's very
Yeah.
bland. So that's a good one to like put with fruit, because I want it to taste good. If I'm gonna make this every day, I've got to look forward to it. And
Right.
the more you're blending and like doing this, the less sweetener you need. And so in the beginning, I really do recommend like doing that whole banana and like everything I say, like the half a cup of frozen fruit too in that smoothie. But over time, your taste buds are gonna regrow from it and they're gonna adapt, and you're not gonna need as much of that fruit sweetener to like work with the leafy greens. And so beginner's luck is a great base smoothie because it's got the 1 cup spinach, 1 banana, and then 1 cup of frozen fruit. But how I make it for myself, I put 2 cups of spinach in there, or 1 cup kale, 1 cup spinach, and then do a little like half a banana. Like you can modify it, like, and do less sweetener and more greens as you adjust, and it still tastes just as good to me as it did back then when I needed it super sweet.
And you use mostly water as your base liquid.
Yeah, I always say use water. It's free. Like you don't have to go to the store and like find it. Like 0 calories. Like if you're trying to like lose weight and like not make this super complicated, water is a great base.
And we have to we have to get that water in. So that's one way to help.
Right. But if you like creamier things like almond milk or cashew milk or oat milk are great choices too. And I mean, when I started doing this, those things didn't exist at the store. Like you'd have to go to like the Asian store to get the coconut milk in the can.
Yeah.
So the world has come a long way. So there's no more excuses for not trying non-dairy milks.
That's right. And coconut water you can use too in some of that. And that's good with pineapple and mango and some of the, the tropical fruits.
Yeah, I always recommend coconut water when you're working out because it's a natural electrolyte with all the potassium in it, and it's nature's Gatorade. And so if I'm going on a long run, I'll blend my smoothie before I go and put it in a cooler in my truck. And that's like my halfway point is like, get to my smoothie, Jen. Like you got electrolytes in there. And that's how I recharge and keep going.
Wow. Jen, what an inspiration.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you anything we haven't talked about that you think maybe women over 50 in particular should know about starting a plant-based diet, maintaining it, what secrets, and then we're going to find out where they can get your books.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm in my 40s now, I've made it over that hump. So, I mean, and I'm starting to see that too. Things slow down. Like you think you're eating, you think you've cut back on eating, and you like get on that scale, so proud of what you're going to see, and you're like, what the heck? Like it's so frustrating. So what I've learned, the best way to because weight loss, I think, is a pretty common thing women are 40s, 50s, 60s are trying to get to. And so things I recommend are just avoiding foods that cause inflammation. And those things are refined sugars, Gluten. I know the Olive Garden breadsticks are like not our friend, you guys, even though I think they are. That's not going to help us. The like highly acidic meats, like on occasion you can have a steak, but it shouldn't be a daily meal. Use it as a treat and as a condiment with your salad or your soup or a plate of vegetables. Like you don't have to give it up, but it should not be as big as the portion sizes that most steakhouses give us.
Yeah.
You don't do the 18-ounce steak very often, I guess. It's for your family of 6.
Yeah. So you really want to cut back on those foods that are inflammation triggers like that.
Okay.
And then also just swap out. I think there's some quick swaps you can do, like limiting the amount of dairy that you eat is also really important. One for your skin, also for your gut health. And so we don't do cow's milk. Like we'll just do almond milk, or oat milk is really good. I will say though, I still do half and half of my coffee, but I make sure it's organic. So that's my non-negotiable. Like I will not give it
She's
up.
not a fanatic.
Well,
And
there's
then
some
also,
things
like-
you're just like that. There are some things you're like, that's just it.
Yeah.
Draw the
You
line
have to
at
have
the
some
middle.
joy. Come on,
Yeah,
like give me my half.
right.
Like I don't need sugar. I don't need any of that in my coffee. I just want a little bit of half.
Half and half.
You're allowed. You're allowed.
Yes, everything in moderation.
That's right.
And then
yeah.
also like if you're feeling hungry, things that I've learned that have helped me to like really make sure that I am cutting back if that's my goal is like doing an apple cider vinegar drink once a day. You just take 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar, dilute it with some water. You can put some cinnamon in it to flavor it, a little bit of honey if you want, and just drink that. And it helps curb your appetite. It also just is, I think it's delicious and refreshing. So that's a big key to weight loss and metabolism health too.
That's good to know.
That is good to know.
Do you include that little blurb in any of your cookbooks?
No, I do it in my cleanses. So when people go 100% plant-based with me, like for right now we're in a 21-day cleanse. And so we're really focused on eating nutrient dense and like spacing it out throughout the day. But if you're not used to that, or your body's like, where's my bagel? Where's my pizza? And you're like feeling hungry, I'm like, drink that apple cider vinegar, like get it in. Like,
yeah.
so,
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also spicy foods help with appetite too. So adding cayenne pepper to your drinks, adding it to like your meals, just a little bit because it's very spicy, but that's helpful too.
Well, those are great things. So first of all, how do they find your smoothie challenges? Are they on simplegreensmoothies.com? You said no Facebook anymore.
Yeah. So just on the blog, simplegreensmoothies.com, where you'll find I have over 400 recipes on there now, from smoothies, soups, salads, snacks, desserts, some of my natural remedies. One of the most popular recipes I've ever made is my homemade deodorant recipe that I share because it actually works. So
that is good to
How
know.
did you like decide to do that?
It's like when I started doing the smoothies and like really just wanting to get closer to nature, it was at the same time my dad was going through cancer. And so it was just this realization of like, we got to do something different if we want to get a different outcome than our parents. And like, we don't know what caused my dad's cancer. He had leukemia and lymphoma. But at that point, I was like, I don't want my kids to go through this. Like I've had to go through this with my dad. So I was like, I need to just keep trying to do the things that research shows can help you. And so plant-based is one, like that is such a great way to reduce your chance of getting cancer, at least healing from it better. And then what was the other thing? Now I just lost track of what was I saying?
It was the deodorant. It was the deodorant.
Oh, the
question.
deodorant. Yeah. And then also like with breast cancer, like back, like, I guess it was like 15 years ago, like it was such a hot topic. Like all my friends' parents were getting breast cancer. And so there was theories that maybe it had to do with what was in your deodorant and with all your glands right there and lymph nodes. And so I was like, I just don't want to deal with that anymore. Like, so I researched it, tried to see what I could do. And so I used a few recipes, combined my own, which is baking soda, arrowroot powder. I use essential oils like grapefruit, which helps it's antibacterial. So it helps with the smells. And then a little bit of coconut oil too, which is antibacterial too. So you mix it all together, it makes this paste, and it works so well.
And that's on your website too.
Yeah, that's on there.
Okay.
That's
Now,
what I used to give it out as Christmas presents to my family because they'd always be like, I need more of your deodorant.
there you go.
Yeah. And my husband and I would put it on in the morning. We would like renovate our house all day and then we would smell each other's pits. And we're like, they still don't smell. Like it really worked. So
That's true intimacy.
yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
you kind of go on this journey. Like it starts with smoothies and because they're easy and they work, and then you just keep going and seeing what else can I do that's going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
And it's a whole world out there and it should be fun. And I find it very fun to experiment and
Sounds
explore.
like you do.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna
Awesome.
spend some time on that website of yours.
Yeah. So your books are on the website and on Amazon?
Yes. So they're on
Okay.
both.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a shop link at the top of the blog, and then both are on Amazon. Right now, well, I don't know when this is going to air, but it is Prime Day today. So I'm sure there's sales on everything and their mom. So they
Okay.
might be
Yeah, we're not going to air it today, but Prime Day comes and goes, it'll come back.
I think it comes twice a year now.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Like,
'Cause
shame on you.
We release these on Thursdays at noon.
Okay.
So
They'll miss it.
next Thursday, which is like the October 19th is the day this will come out at noon.
Okay.
So we'll just look forward to that and all those magical tricks and treats and I can't wait to just maybe look at some of your new recipes because I've got at least one of your books and going to go find out another one.
Yeah, we have so many new recipes. The last 2 years, we've really worked on expanding the website to include more.
Yeah, well, we can't wait. Thank
Exciting.
you so much.
I'm
Yeah,
changing the world.
One smoothie at a time.
that's exactly right.
One free smoothie at a time. So.
There you go. Thank you, Jen, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
thank
great
you for
meeting you.
having me.
My
It's
pleasure.
great meeting you.